Hi, this is Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I'm so glad you're with me again today, or maybe it's your first time. And today with me for story time, two of my grandchildren are here.
Frankie.
This is my granddaughter, Frankie, and
Christopher.
my grandson, Christopher. And so, you guys say hi?
Hi.
Are you excited to be in this video?
Yeah.
All right, so we are reading tonight Dooger, the Grasshopper Hound. And if you remember, last night, it was fire on the mountain. A very scary one.
Yeah.
And DJ just found out that Pris, because she was mad at him, she took DJ's dog, Hero, and she took him deep in the woods, close to where the fire was. And she left him there and wouldn't let him follow her home. And now he's in danger, but guess what else? Pris felt bad when Two Mom asked her about it, and she snuck out the house to go find Hero. So now she's headed to the fire area. And this is not a safe time because they're talking about evacuations. So we better get reading. Oh, and on top of that, Alfred's brother, his little brother Tag, he's been talking about running away. And this is not a good time to be running away. Not that any time is good, but especially not a good time
because there's a fire.
There's a fire, that's right. That would not be safe.
Yeah. Let me show you doing my stuff.
So I'm going to start now. Chapter 10, Race Against Time and Fire. Okay, now you can go ahead, Christopher. I'm going to read a little bit while Christopher does some things. That was close.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. 20 minutes later, the boys were headed toward the fiery mountain with Dooger trotting at their heel, at the heel position to Alfred's left. He said, "You know, DJ, Pris has done a dangerous thing, but maybe she's really sorry, and she's trying to change the way she treats you. Do you think so?"
No.
I just hope we can find her and Hero before that fire gets any closer. Me too. There's nobody to help us unless Two Mom can drive over and get Brother Paul, and that will lose too much time. Priscilla will be okay, DJ said. Hey, I sure wish Dooger could trail her.
Yeah.
Alfred sighed. If my father gets home from fighting this fire and Dooger hasn't done something useful, Dad'll make me give him away. DJ nodded. But he didn't say anything. He was sorry for his friend, but Dooger was more little Tag's dog than Alfred's, really. It didn't matter to the little brother what Dooger was good for. The boys were leaning forward and panting as they began climbing the lower side of the mountain. Suddenly, they both stopped and straightened up, listening. DJ said, "I heard something." Yeah, Alfred answered. Sounded like someone calling. But I can't see anything in all this smoke. Hey, look, there's Dooger. The red hound's long floppy ears hung down past his wrinkled muzzle, but the ears were slightly lifted. at the base of the skull. Even though they hung down, they were up a little bit. The sad brown eyes were looking slightly off to the right. Slightly. Come on, DJ cried. He started to run in the direction Dooger was looking. In a few seconds, through the sinister smoke, sinister means kind of evil and dangerous, smoke that swirled down from the blazing mountain, the boys saw DJ's stepsister. She had fallen on the hillside. The boys sprinted towards her and knelt beside her. "Oh, DJ," Pris called, throwing her arms around his neck and nearly pulling him off his knees. "You came." "You all right?" he asked, a little unsure how to react to the first signs of caring that she'd ever shown. She nodded and coughed and then repeated, "You came. And Alfred." "You could have been killed," Alfred scolded. "I saw Tag," Pris said, sniffling. "He's back there." She released DJ's neck and pointed towards the burning mountain. Both boys exchanged glances before they asked as one person, "What?" "Tag. I ran into him. He said he wanted to run away because he got spanked when it wasn't his fault. And he was going to find his daddy who's up there fighting the fire." DJ almost shook his stepsister. "Where is he now? Why'd you leave him?" "I fell and cut my knee so bad I couldn't go on. I had to bandage it with a piece of my dress." She pointed at the torn hem. The hem is at the very bottom part of your dress. "I wanted Tag to come back with me, but he wouldn't. He went on to find his daddy." "Why couldn't you stop him?" "I couldn't. I could barely move. I've been crawling down this mountain." DJ interrupted. "Did you see my dog?" "He was with Tag. They both went on when I fell." "Toward the fire?" DJ demanded. "Towards the fire?" "They both went towards the fire?" "Tag said his daddy was that way," Pris said with a sniff. Both boys leaped up and stood looking towards the place Tag had gone. DJ and Alfred cupped their hands around their mouths and yelled his name. "Tag! Tag!" There was an answering call, but it wasn't Tag. A moment later, an overweight teenage boy staggered out of the smoke. It only took DJ and Alfred a moment to recognize him. "It's that Kirk kid," Alfred exclaimed. "The one from the airport who said he was mad and frustrated." Seconds later, the older boy ran to them and stopped, holding his side and panting hard for running. "Wow," he cried when he could finally catch his breath. "At dawn this morning, the fire died down with the wind, so the flames came down to the ground. But the wind came up again. Now it's so strong it's driving that fire faster than a horse can run." He paused and frowned. "What are you doing out here?" DJ explained. "Looking for a little lost boy and my dog. You see them?" Kirk shook his head. "I rode up from the airport. On the track," I see Bubba's back. Careful, Bubba. "On a truck tanker to take some boots and hard hats to the volunteer fire crews. They rushed up here last night before they had a chance to get their gear. When I got separated from the driver and figured I'd better get my own way out if I could. So I started running, but I haven't seen anything except deer and other wild animals trying to get away from the flames."
Totally, Frankie.
Okay, calm down. Calm down a little bit. It's okay. Just leave it. Stay. Look, DJ said, pointing to Pris. She's hurt. Her knee. Can you help her down to her mother's? Well, sure, I guess so, Kirk said. Can't leave her out here today. That's for sure. And you two can't stay here either. Why not? Alfred demanded. We told you. Stony Ridge has been ordered evacuated by 5 o'clock today unless they get control of this fire before then. 5 o'clock? Where'd you hear that? DJ demanded. On the truck radio just a few minutes ago. The friends exchanged glances, so they looked at each other. We can't just quit, DJ said. We've got to find Alfred's little brother. Lean towards me, Christopher. You'd better be out of this area in a half hour or so, Kirk warned evenly, or the fire will sweep through here on its way to burn the town. There were hasty goodbyes. That means they had to say them quickly. DJ and Alfred watched Pris and Kirk start down the mountain. The teenager helped DJ's stepsister as she hobbled along, but a whiff of smoke forced the boys to turn away from Pris and Kirk and back to the problem before them. Time was running out. Half an hour more was all they dared risk. Wordlessly, DJ started jogging up the hill towards the fire. Alfred called to Dooger and ran beside DJ toward the area where Pris had said she had last seen Tag. Alfred panted a little as he ran. How long should we keep looking for Tag and Hero? You heard what Kirk said about how fast that fire's moving, coming straight towards us too. But if we can find where Pris saw him, maybe we can put Dooger on their trail and beat the flames. In a few moments, DJ and Alfred found the area Pris had described. This has got to be where she met your little brother, DJ said. See? There's fresh blood on this rock where Pris had cut her knee. And isn't this a piece of her dress? Sure is. Well, there's got to be some of Tag's scent around here. Let's put Dooger on Tag's trail. How we do that? I mean, how do we start Dooger? I don't have anything of Tag's for Dooger to smell. For a moment, the boys looked at each other in anguish. Then they glanced up at the approaching fire. It was obvious that time was running out. DJ suddenly snapped his fingers and plunged his right hand into his hip pocket. Alfred said, "What's that?" "The drawing that Tag gave me a while ago. Here, Dooger, smell this and see if you can get Tag's scent off it." DJ bent and extended the paper excuse me, to the red pup. Can hounds get a human scent off paper? We'll know soon. Dooger sniffed the paper, his long, floppy ears falling over the drawing. His very wrinkled muzzle seemed to twitch as his nose worked. Then the curved red tail began to slowly, happily wag. "He's got it!" DJ cried. "He's got the scent! Go, Dooger! Find Tag! Go!" Alfred echoed the instructions. Both boys waved their arms to encourage the hound. His nose went to the ground. He circled, tail wagging hard. Suddenly, Dooger bawled, "Woo, woo!" However they bawl, I don't know. And leaped forward so swiftly he almost pulled the chain right out of Alfred's hands. "Go, Dooger! Go! Find!" DJ yelled, clapping his hands. Can you clap your hands? Go! Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to look you in the eye.
Yeah, sure. The red hound was already moving steadily away, nose to the ground, deep voice baying, announcing he was on the trail of the little boy that he loved. Okay, that's enough. Frankie. Thank you. DJ and Alfred pounded each other on their shoulders and backs as they ran after Dooger, straight towards the fire. He's got it. Alfred's right arm was extended to the limit as far as it could go. As Dooger strained at the chain, the boys looked at each other, and the fear was plain in the other's eyes. That's right. A terrible, fearful doubt engulfed them. Alfred voiced it. Are you sure he really is following Tag's scent right now? DJ tried to sound confident. Of course he is. Alfred wasn't convinced. This dog never followed a trail before in his life, except the other day when he was following you. Even then he didn't find you, remember? He treed Tag. I've been thinking about that, Alfred. I don't believe Dooger was following me that day at all. He was following Tag the whole time. That's why Dooger didn't come to the first tree where I'd hidden. And that's why he didn't come to my second tree after I met Tag. You're saying Dooger only followed my brother and never you? I'm saying exactly that. Then you think he's really following Tag right now?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Dooger loves your kid brother. They jogged in silence for a moment, listening to the red hound bawl. Do you know how to bawl like a hound dog?
No, not really.
Yeah, I wish I did. He was starting to sneeze from the smoke.
Achoo!
He wasn't running fast or bawling very often. That meant he did not have a hot trail, or else the smoke was beginning to affect his smell.
Uh-oh.
If Dooger lost the scent now, we're running out of time, DJ announced as he stopped to catch his breath. And it's getting so smoky up ahead, we couldn't see Tag even if he was there. I'm not going to quit and let my brother die. I didn't mean that, Alfred, but we need some help. Let's say a quick prayer for wisdom. Alfred hesitated. Well, he said slowly, we practically need a miracle. Let's make it fast. Both boys bowed their heads. Yeah. DJ could hear Dooger tugging on the leash and sneezing. DJ's head came up. His palms were sweating. He rubbed them on the back of his hip pockets. Alfred said a soft, Amen, and raised his head. Okay, let's go. Wait a minute. What you doing? Alfred asked, looking at the picture Tag drew for me. For crying out loud, DJ, not now. Look, Alfred. I see it now. I see it. See what? I see where your brother might be. Look closely. Alfred reluctantly glanced at the paper of Tag's crayon marks. Just another of Tag's drawings, he said. Come on. No, DJ cried. Remember the last drawing Tag made? The broadleaf maple and the tallest tree in the forest? The Douglas fir? Look at this. DJ's forefinger stabbed down hard. Look at this. That's where Tag is. Alfred squinted, pushing his thick glasses up with his right thumb and trying to peer from his stinging eyes. Oh, I see, yeah. We're here by this funny shaped rock. And that's the peak right over there where the fire's just now starting to cross. But I still don't understand. Look at the two very tall trees below the peak. See the way those long cones are hanging down from the tips of the tall top branches? Sugar pines? Only sugar pines have cones that long. DJ pointed. Right. But look again. Tag drew two sugar pines, twins, in an open area exactly like over there. I see them. Two trees the same height with cones hanging, but Tag told me when he gave me this paper, that is a clue, like a mystery, remember? Yes? So what? What have I wanted to do this summer? Train this dog. But what's that got to do with anything? We're wasting time. Okay, thank you for helping me. No, not that. DJ shook his head hard. No, I've been trying to catch that firebug. Yet there was no way to know who he was. But Tag told me he'd seen somebody in the woods. Drew a picture of him, remember? Yes, but I don't see why we're standing here. I'm thinking it through, Alfred, and I got it. See this red spotted thing in the picture? Yes, like a handkerchief or a banana. Not banana.
We've been saying
bandana.
We've been saying that all day because
Yes.
Frankie accidentally called a bandana a banana. So he's been calling them bananas all day.
All day we have. But it's a bandana.
Bandana, not banana.
Yeah. But DJ interrupted. And see those two human figures there? Yes. I've got it, Alfred. I know where your brother is. You do? I'm sure of it. And I know something else, too. What? I know who the firebug is. Have you lost your marbles, DJ? Don't think so. Come on, let's run. And pray we find Tag right over there by those twin sugar pines he drew. Just then the wind shifted sharply. That means it turned direction. Both boys saw the flames on the hill whip around and divide a stand of especially tall trees with the twin sugar pines in the middle. Oh no. The fire moved rapidly on the near side, which had been burnt over a couple years ago. The area was treeless, except for a few old fire-scarred snags, some new ground cover, and dry grass.
Uh-oh.
The fire roared through this like flames on gasoline over a football length. Okay, that's enough. Both boys slid to a stop. Alfred cried, "We're cut off! We can't get to the sugar pines!" For a moment, DJ stared at the terrible thing happening in front of them. If DJ was right, Tag was in that stand of tall timber. The fire had made a pincers. We better look that up, what pincers is. I'm not sure. I can find it, though. Pincers. An action resulting from a pair of large jaws that start wide and close in around a subject. Oh, like this around the trees.
Oh, yeah.
That would be bad.
Because they're like pincers going like that.
Yeah, that's right. Like a crab's pincers.
Or your crawdads that you have over in that fish tank.
Yep. Okay, lost my place.
You were on this page.
I was on this page. Tag was right. If DJ was right, Tag was in that tall timber. The fire had made a pincers and was sweeping around the sugar pine trees and the other trees. In moments, the double column of flames would encircle the conifers, isolating them and making them an island in a sea of fire. It's no use, Alfred cried, pointing. His voice was so filled with fright he was screeching. We can't get through. DJ swallowed hard and started to nod, barely hearing Dooger sneezing hard from the smoke. The little red hound's ears flopped noisily with the violence of his sneezing. Then DJ saw something beyond the near column of smoke, of fire. He grabbed Alfred's arm and pointed. Look, I see something moving. I can't make it through all the smoke, but it's Tag! Alfred screeched. Oh no, it's Tag! The flames separating the boy from Tag leaped higher. The smoke swirled crazily, and the little boy was lost to sight. But DJ heard Tag's screams and then Hero's sharp, loud bark. Oh man, what a place for this to end. They found him, but they can't get to them.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we stop for the night. Whew, what a place. So, tomorrow
We'll read chapter 11.
we will read chapter 11, yes. And the name of that title is A Life and Death
Chapter.
Decision.
Oh, decision. I thought it was chapter.
Okay, let's try one more time. A life and death decision.
You
Yeah.
threw me off, Frankie. It's that
So
chapter.
it was really nice to have Francesca with me and Christopher with me for the story tonight. I hope you enjoyed seeing them and getting to meet two of my grandchildren.
Bye.
Bye. So I just want to say I love you. I really do.
Yeah.
But even more important than that, God loves you. And
Everyone
He
loves you.
always will. So I'll be seeing you and reading the story tomorrow. Good night and God bless you.
Mwah. If you're an RANT.